Sup boopers, I've been a bit inactive waiting on Wildstar and ESO, but this week has been pretty exciting in terms of all the press releases and streamers showing content from levels 1 to 15 in Wildstar. So I went ahead and dug through a bunch of VODs to start working on some informing guides about shit you might not already know. And this video is going to explain stats and skills on Wildstar, using the soothing visuals of random released footage from Carbine and other streamers. Keep in mind this information was gathered using all information released through streamers and press releases and may not include everything or be completely accurate, so let's get started on stats. Boop. So typically in MMOs you can pop open your character screen and see strength, stamina, agility, and maybe some intellect for the casters, but Wildstar said a big ol' nope to all that. And you're going to be seeing 6 new stats that follow different rules than that of those you are used to. These 6 stats are Brutality, Finesse, Moxie, Tech, Insight, and Grit. If you're saying, what the fuck, to all these, don't worry, Hack's got your back. But before we talk about these stats, let's learn a bit about the skills as well, as they go hand in hand. Every class in Wildstar has 3 skill trees, but unlike other MMOs, these skill trees are not named relevantly to the class you are playing. They are named the same for all 6 classes. Tree 1 is Assault, Tree 2 is Support, and Tree 3 is Utility. Now, this isn't a class guide video. I'll make those when I get my hands on 50 characters and the NDA is gone. So as a general view, Assault is the DPS tree. Every class has skills to DPS and can spec into DPS by selecting the DPS skills for their limited action set. Limited action set is just a fancy way of saying you are only allowed to pick 8 skills to use at a time, interchangeable as long as you are out of combat. You can pick to take 8 assault skills, 8 support skills, or 8 utility skills, or a mix, depending on what you are doing, but let's not get completely sidetracked. The support tree is either the healing or tanking tree. 3 classes in Wildstar use support tree for healing. Those are Esper, Medic, and Spellslinger, while the other 3 have their support tree focusing on tanking skills, Stalker, Warrior, and Engineer. Lastly, the utility tree is just like it sounds. Here you will find all the gizmo skills like stuns and CCs. Every class will have a few. The fun part is deciding which skills you want to use with a maximum of 8 at a time, and furthermore, which skills you want to upgrade. As you level, you are also going to be given points to improve each of these skills. Improving them a certain amount of times seems to sometimes yield bonus effects for that skill too. So as you can see, even though 2 people are playing the same class, they can have entirely different skills and abilities being used at a time, allowing for a ton of customization. Awesome, right? Okay, now let's go back to stats. It'll be easier to explain them now that we understand the 3 skill trees. So the 6 stats I listed are the primary stats for your character, what you'll find on most gear. There are other stats, but I'll touch on them later. First, let's start with Grit, because Grit is easy. Just scribble out old Grit here and put in Stamina, because this is for your HP. Grit gives you more HP. More HP is good. Everyone likes HP. From here on out, we're going to need a little chart though, because every class uses these stats to gain different values, and this was a pain in the ass to pull off a VOD, so I expect lots of cookies in return. Each class has a stat that grants the following: Strike Through and Critical Severity, Assault Power, Support Power, Critical Hit Chance and Critical Severity, and lastly, Deflection and Deflection Critical Chance. So, critical hit chance and critical severity are nothing new. Your chance to crit and how much you will crit for. Deflection is your chance to parry, and deflect critical hits is your chance to, well, not get hit by critical hits. Whereas strike through is your ability to ignore deflect chance. Your strike through rating will be calculated against your target's deflect and deflect critical hit chance to decide whether or not you get deflected. The last stats are assault power and support power. Remember those 3 skill trees we talked about? Well, assault power will affect the damage and effectiveness of assault skills, while support power will affect the damage or healing effectiveness of your support skills. Pretty simple, right? All you've got to do is pay attention to what role you want to play and what class you are playing, and then effectively go for gear with the right stats for you. A tank warrior will want Grit, Insight, and Tech, whereas a DPS warrior wants moxie, finesse, and brutality, so everyone will be looking for different gear. Another neat thing about the stats is that reaching certain thresholds of these stats will grant you bonuses. So it's always good to try and reach the first few thresholds of your 3 most important stats before stacking all the remainders into your favorite stat. I did catch a glimpse of other secondary stats not affected by the 6 big ones, and they seem to be armor pierce, shield pierce, lifesteal, haste, and then for defense, from armor it looks like tech resist, magic resist, and physical resist. There was also PvP defense and PvP offense and some others, but these seem all pretty straightforward. You can tell what they do by their names. Anyway, that's it for my stats and skills outline of Wildstar so far. I'm really excited about this game, and I'll keep digging around for more information so that I can make more videos for you guys. But until then, I'm booping out. Boop.